last Tuesday, but that's no excuse for that. He's going, I think 19 days overseas, and it's going to be outrageous as far as costs. I'm not sure what real benefit.
Is that the Democratic Party pay for that, or is the taxpayers pay for that?
No, taxpayer. This is an official trip. It will be done visiting other nations, their leaders around the world. I think he's obviously presidents always think they look stronger if they're out of the country. That they're doing their role as the world, the leader of the free world, and go around visiting with other nations, things like that. But to me, this is way beyond what anybody should be doing at this point, especially when we have issues like spending at home here, job creation, and economy with 10% unemployment, and he's off, having a good time.
Protected by a fleet of 34 warships, including an air traffic carrier, and patrol the sea lanes off the Mumbai coast. 2-day stay there on Saturday. 800 rooms have been booked for the president and his entourage. That's one heck of an entourage. Right. Wow. This is DJ. Thank you for joining us. Good morning, sir.
Good morning. Hey, I want to congratulate Congressman Latham. And living in Des Moines, I wish he was my congressman, but unfortunately I'm stuck. I want to make 2 quick points. I want to thank Congressman Latham, and I want to encourage him to keep going to bat for the Homeland Security Training Center up at Iowa Central Community College. As a first responder and as a parent with a school-age child, the money that Congressman Latham has helped secure for active shooter training to prepare our law enforcement and first responders wouldn't be possible without his efforts. And the second thing, I'm really nervous as a third-generation Century owner that the inheritance tax is going to take my family's farm away from us if we don't do something in this next few months.
Well, thank you very much, and certainly the program up at Fort Dodge at Iowa Central has just been a national model for how to train first responders across our state. I think they've trained nearly 30,000 first responders with very little money, and what they're trying to do now is, on a national basis, do the same thing. Of course, nationally they always want to reinvent the wheel. Why we can't just pick up what they've been so successful at it and put this nationwide, I don't quite understand. We've been trying to get Homeland Security to do that, but they've just been a model up there, and we'll continue to make sure that operates. On the death tax, it is very frustrating to anyone who is involved, and I'm involved in agriculture with my family, to see the values that have gone up so dramatically, the potential that if in fact...
That's inflation, though, and increased commodity demand. There's two reasons why the land values have gone up. One is the sheer inflationary pressure of the weakened dollar.
But if you have
why should the government take advantage of a problem it created by a second insult?
Well, and the fact of the matter is that if we don't do anything, the death tax goes to $1 million exemption next year with a 55% rate. And, some of these farms have gone up. If you value, the basis is going back to what, when Grandpa and Grandma bought it in 1935 or something. It's extraordinary as far as what the heir would have to pay as far as capital gains, but also the rate itself. Yeah. You've got $1 million exemption on farmland valued at, there's farms that have sold over $8,000 an acre. A lot of them in the $6,000, $7,000 an acre, and that adds up really fast. And what happens then, Jan, is that if you're forced to sell the farm, then you not only pay the death tax, but you pay the capital gains tax on top of the sale, on the sale itself. And with Obamacare, you're going to have an additional 3.8% tax if you do it in 2013.
How did they inserted that into the Obamacare? That's a revenue source and a taxing authority.
And people said that the cost of health care was going to go down under Obamacare. And that is the biggest joke that has ever been perpetuated on the American people. This is a huge increase, huge tax increase, bureaucratic nightmare as far as the health care.
Well, we had a little bit of a chance to help correct it when and we're going to, the attorney generals of states all the way around the country are going to challenge the constitutionality of Obamacare. Our current one, who was just reelected, said, no, that's under the Commerce Clause. He has all the authority he needs.
I do not understand anyone who believes that the federal government forcing someone to purchase a product from a private company is constitutional.
A brief timeout.
It simply
Back in a
can't
moment.
be.
Right back to conversation. Tom Latham is here, congressman from the center part of the state of Iowa. He's just reelected with a substantial majority, and he's listening to what you expect of him in this go-around. An Iowa question with national implication, though, comes from Aaron. Good morning, Aaron.
Good morning.
Hi.
Hi. My question for Senator Latham was I was wondering if he thought that Bob Vander Plaats misled the American, or the state, the public by presenting the gay marriage, the right to gay marriage as a constitutional right, not a law, and the impact that had on judicial retention, and I guess what his thoughts on the process as a whole. To me,
wait a minute, Aaron, I think you're maybe misstating the case. Vander Plaats never presented this as a constitutional right. That was the argument of the gay lobby, saying that it was a constitutional right.
Okay.
In fact, that's what the basis of his challenge.
But they were saying it was unconstitutional because there was a law blocking it, right? So under equal rights, marriage as a whole, it's kind of a hypocritical thing to allow it for one person under the Constitution and not another group of people.
I thought you were taking a different direction. But
no.
I'd be happy to discuss this with you, but I don't think this is a matter for...
It's not a federal issue, but obviously...
It will be if the Supreme Court out in Hawaii and California push it all the way to the Supreme Court, and then you guys are going to be in your backyard.
Right. I mean, this particular case is a state issue. Certainly, the issue itself will be addressed federally.
Forever.
Also. Right.
Congressman Latham, thank you for joining us this morning.
Thank you. Great to be with you.
Views expressed are those of the host, guests, and callers.